I figured I was gonna respond to something that I've seen going on for way too long in spiritual narcissism, spiritual ego traps, and a whole bunch of other things that I'm still trying to figure out why. I wouldn't consider myself spiritual, which is weird because what we do is spiritual development, professional development, and personal development. I became spiritual when I felt an energy. That energy came from me realizing something within quantum physics. It was weird. It was like I heard this one thing that you are nothing but a subatomic quantum fluctuation vibrating in a vacuum on a Planck scale. After having gone through all the things preceding that statement, understanding how that whole quantum reality could work and how it relates to psychedelic experiences, how it relates to the universe and different other hermetic principles and fucking insights that I wasn't even aware of, that has been talked about for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Even before they wrote religion. And here I am, trying to do something based on what I felt was right. So we start to create the Legacy Forge. And hold on, I just have to see if there's something weird in the lighting on the camera. The thing is, we started the Legacy Forge, and hold on, and people found us. People came in, and we had tribe talks. We were chatting. We were getting to know the members. We were doing all these things, building the plane in the air. Feels like more of a starship, to be honest, because it quickly evolved. I had this idea, this vision, that I was going to create something that could lead to whatever I was seeing. I saw the whole campfire, just sitting around the campfire, and the profound freaking transformational value of doing so. And if you're with like minded people, I thought that maybe this is going to lead to something very interesting. And so we started to do that. As time went by, we developed new things. We saw that with the experiences of the people inside of the Legacy Forge and the different insights and all the different perspectives, we had a very powerful and valuable place where people could find value regardless of where they came from. Unity through diversity. But then some people went on their own path, as they should. Everyone has their own path. Some people said, I don't resonate with this anymore. You don't do drugs as much as I would like you to do. Kind of. Really putting it into extreme perspectives here, because that's kind of what it feels like sometimes. If I'm to talk about psychedelic mushrooms, for instance, some people feel like I should do that in a different way, that I'm not doing it the right way. Where am I? I'm more about the whole know the context of very many different perspectives and try to know yourself before you go into this. Know where you are. Know how you are grounded in yourself before you start to delve into these metaphysical concepts and compounds. I, for instance, and this is one of the first major frictions that happened inside of the Legacy Forge, I have a very specific stance on ayahuasca. I have not done ayahuasca. I know a lot of ayahuasca facilitators, everywhere from Norway to the Amazonian jungle. I know people who have read a course. I know people who took one experience and figured that they were teachers. And I know people who have been bred, who have been raised by their parents and their lineage to become these facilitators of the medicine. Actual shamans. So I was sitting there. I have a lot of stories, a lot of conversations. Every single day, I speak with people from all walks of life, from those who are trying to hide from the government and who are trying to get the money that they get for free from the government while keeping their whole thing secret, to politicians and police officers and doctors and lawyers and actors and plumbers and electricians and cashiers. You get the drift. I know a lot of people. I know a few homeless people as well. So I have a lot of perspectives. And my stance on the whole ayahuasca was that I will not do that, as I made abundantly clear when we had the whole podcast, The Shift, with Keith Aronowitz, whom passed away, sadly. I miss you, brother. He had done a lot of ayahuasca, and we shared insights. Me from psilocybin, him from ayahuasca. And I learned a lot. I could not have prepared myself for what was to come, though. Because as soon as people from within the tribe went on their adventure to find these other medicines, the medicine seemed to consume them. All of a sudden, they were apostles. They went around and sharing other people's ceremonies, saying that everyone should do ayahuasca. Everyone needs the medicine. Everyone should do Amanita muscaria. Everyone should do this. Everyone should do that. I'm more of like, what the fuck are you doing? Preparation, integration, all these things. It seems to be completely just discarded when it comes to a lot of how people are sharing these things. So I took a stance against it. I would rather that we go ahead and merge the ancient with the modern so that we can actually reintroduce those things that we have forgotten. You know, that energy that religion, for instance, is based upon. All these things where they have taken their power out from themselves and put them into something else. Yes, I am not against the whole universe, higher intelligence, prana, chi, ka, all the things you want to call God. But some people get really pissed with me when I say that I see things maybe not as they do. I don't quote scripture, for instance. I don't think that quoting a book that has been edited so many times, that has physical proof in Nag Hammadi and all these things, that is creating more confusion than anything else, has any value in what I try to do in my own journey. And I think that people should respect that. Respect that you have your own journey. And that others do as well. You see, the only reason that I'm making this video right now is that you, brother, if you're watching this, I first get called out for making a low-key joke that I hope that was going to be seen because we have experience. We have been talking a lot. I say one thing, and your entire reality just falls apart. All of a sudden, there's a tirade of just message upon message upon message upon message. My messenger calling, like my phone vibrating non-stop while I'm trying to put my kids to bed. Are you fucking kidding me? Get real. Your life is valuable. But for God's sake, respect the boundaries of others as well. We do have our journey. If you can't keep your emotional balance, if you cannot avoid to be triggered by something that small, that's an indicator in my mind. That just shows me that you have something to work on. There's a shadow there. Why the heck did that happen at all, right? Because I will not go in there and allow people to steal my energy and my time again, as they have for years, where I have just been putting myself out there and just been there for everyone at any given time of the day, 24/7. Fuck my own mental health. What do you need? In what reality is that real? In what reality is that healthy? In what reality should that be accepted? So no. I have a different view on many things. But as we do talk about inside of the Legacy Forge, of which none of these people are a part, because they left their own accord, right? They had an issue. They thought that we did something that they didn't subscribe to. Yet the group continued to grow. I don't know who's wrong or who's right. I know that I put a shitload of energy, effort, and time into this, and I will keep doing that. I am inside of the Legacy Forge alongside other like-minded, open-minded Legacy Forgers who's trying to raise the collective frequency of the universe to make sure that tomorrow is better than yesterday. And when I get attacked by victimized people who's talking about their problems more than the solutions and who are escaping through drugs all the time, sorry. I have better shit to do. Honestly. I know this was a really harsh video. And I want to make it clear at the end here that I will be there when you can communicate properly, human to human, within context. I would never toss scripture at you, just assuming that you understood 100% what I'm talking about, especially if I'm tossing scripture on something completely unrelated to what I'm actually doing. Like if you're sharing a win, if you're sharing the first ever example of what other people have gotten from all of this, and you're presented with scripture, long ass text that I couldn't understand, so I had to use AI to figure that out, which talked about the first trickery of the whole ascension and how people are being tricked to think that something different was going on. Almost alluding to the fact that maybe, okay, are you saying that we are scamming people? Are you saying that we are making people feel. What are you saying? Because you're on the outside looking in. We have people from the inside expanding out. So it's like a disconnect. In my brain, I'm trying to find a logical answer to what I just saw. And then I see the reactions, not the response, the reactions. Simply trying to understand, because this is happening so often now. I see people who are vibrating on a very high level, people who've gone through transformations, and now they're seeing life in a completely new light. They feel better. They start to sing. They smile. They feel better. They are open to expanding more. And as they do, they attract all sorts of moth, all sorts of people and leeches who are feeling the energy and wants to have a bit of it. And they will put down everything to get it. They will frickin' uproot their life to get that energy because something is pulling them hard. That's not good for the people going through the whole evolution, who's developing, who's putting in the work. It makes it very difficult. And I've seen that it's not just in those cases, it's also in terms of what we do. Because I have never had that many people who have been referring to themselves as Jesus calling me. I shit you not. Christ consciousness, unity, these feelings that is very well known within the psychedelic therapy and psychedelic experiences as a whole, where you get a feeling that you probably can't understand if you haven't really had anything like it before, and if you don't have any context, anything to put that on, people sometimes get a little bit confused because am I God or what's going on here? And then sometimes people seem to fall in between the cracks. That yes, they are God, but also there is another God and we should share his word. I think that we should share the word of love and just mutual respect and openness and, being rooted in ourselves and emotionally balanced and strong in our energies and providing safe havens for others instead of toxicity and shit based on insecurities and unhealed wounds. But that's just me. I feel like I'm starting to get fed up with people assuming that they know something based on the fractal information that they are possessing. And this is going to be a journey to figure out what is that going to lead to? Because as we grow, of course, we're going to also attract more people. And those people will be looking for something. They are called to something. And some of those people will be hurt. We have room for those people who are hurt. But you have to understand that if you cannot communicate, we have to react or respond to make sure that we understand each other before we even start the communication. Because I don't take it anymore. I'm done. I'm not a puke bucket. So with that, I love your face. That was 15 minutes of a rant. Damn. If you have any questions, ask them. Don't assume that you know everything about someone that you clearly don't know. And just try. Try to create and establish a balance. We are. And it gets really old to be attacked all the time for asking questions. Direct questions. Triggering questions. Which proves a lot, Silence has also a lot of things to say. So I love your face.